Hey, good afternoon, good morning, everyone. I will be, as you've seen the topic there, we'll be talking about today is it was welfare reform. Just go over a couple of numbers here. I wasn't even aware of myself that welfare is a $1 trillion business. Yes, you heard me correctly. Uh, the business of welfare is a $1 trillion business system, and and this talks about how to reform it. I won't get into all the specifics of it. However, a quick summary of it, it says, again, please subscribe, hit the subscribe button so you can continue to get this content on a daily basis. Excuse me. Okay. The true cost of welfare or aid to the poor is largely unknown because of the spending is fragmented and myriad programs. Current welfare is focused largely on increasing benefits and enrollments and redistributing income. Self-defeating behaviors that increase the need for assistance are rarely even mentioned. Policymakers should replace welfare's current focus with a new set of interlinked goals. And we're going to go into a couple of those goals here in a second. Reducing self defeating and self limiting behaviors, increasing self support, and improving true human well being. Um, Number one, okay, welfare reform should require all able bodied adult recipients to work or prepare for work as a condition of receiving the aid. Number two, receive the substantial penalties against marriage within the welfare system. Three, fund programs aimed at improving behavior on payment for outcome basis rather than today's fees for service basis. Wow, those are some very good points there. And one another thing that I also want to uh, speak on is since the beginning of the war on poverty, government has spent a vast sums of welfare or aid to the poor, but the aggregate cost of this assistance is largely unknown because the spending is fragmented into those programs we mentioned earlier. Whereas Social Security and Medicare, those are line items. The defense budget is a line item. You're going to see a particular line item, and you're going to see the cost that what that cost is going to be on the back side there. And defense spending is prison on one line, where federal welfare spending is spread across 14 different programs, government departments, and agencies. Think about that. So the $1 trillion expense of welfare is spread across 14 governmental departments and agencies, nine major budget functions, and 89 separate programs. Spending levels for many programs can be discovered only by data mining the 1,300-page budget appendix produced by the OMB, which is the Office of Management and Budget. So when somebody don't want you to know something, they'll stick a bunch of things in a book and put a lot of things around it, and you never get to what the issue really is. Being in the music industry, guess what? Somebody give you a contract, they're gonna make sure it's about 200 pages long, but the only thing that's gonna matter is what's on the back 2 pages. All the other stuff is just fluff. So the fact that we can go to a line item and say, okay, this is what Social Security is going to cost. It'll be to the right or left. Boom, right there. This is what the Department of Defense is going to cost. We know what that's going to cost. Here's Medicare. But when we go to something like the welfare system, which is $1 trillion business, we have to go through first of all 1,300 pages, and then this money is spread off of 14 different programs. And the worst part about it is, you know, the behaviors are not changing. We're not incentivizing people to change their behaviors. We're letting them keep these same behaviors, these same frivolous attitudes, and we're still rewarding them. So I was brought up. I thought once you accomplish something, one thing or another, you are rewarded for that accomplishing what you set out to do. But if you keep doing, if you're doing the same thing, year five, you were doing in year one, you're not trying to get better. No, that's a personal choice that you're making. That's a personal choice you're making not to do the right thing because it's easier to just, be mediocre, I guess. That's how I look at it. It's easier to be mediocre. But again, I think that's something we need to really look at, and we have to stop rewarding those bad behaviors that they mentioned. And again, Webster Dictionary defines welfare as aid in the form of money or necessities for those in need. If you're an able-bodied person, and let's look at our current situation in our society right now, we have after COVID, we have a ton of restaurants that has hiring signs up. I mean, yeah, they're hiring. They're hiring. They're looking for people to actually provide a service so they can get compensated for providing a service. For whatever reason, people are not lining up to. Hopefully, that changes. They're not lining up to apply for those positions. Why? I haven't done a survey to find that out. Maybe you can help me in that arena. So, well, some people say, "Well, I want to make more." Okay, what are you bringing? What skill are you bringing? What skill have you developed the last 25, 30, 40 years to say I'm warranted that amount of money because I'm going to be able to add value to your organization. Now, you got to be honest with yourself. If you're going to add value to something, or someone, if someone honestly feel like you're going to add value to their situation, they're going to pay you what you think you're worth. But other than that, I think we get caught up in our ego saying, well, I deserve this much. I deserve that because it's that and the other. I'm like, they don't really care because it's 20,000 other people that, that would take the opportunity to get the experience and to move into something else. So that's not an end all when you go to a job, at whatever job it may be. Hopefully, it's not an end all. Hopefully, you're looking to consider to grow and get into other things in the future that will allow you to be a well rounded person. But anyway, um, again, we digress here for a second. Um, then we talk about the TANF and public, the, those food stamps, TANF, which is TANF, temporary assistance for needy families, and public housing are means tested aid programs by Social Security, Medicare, and public school education, police, fire departments are not. Okay, second, a for small group of welfare programs are community means tested. These federal programs target community development and education at a low income communities rather than individuals. Community means tested programs can provide 2% of total means tested in the welfare system. So again, they've someone smaller than me put this together. They've narrowed down the numbers here. This is about reforming again. Get back out of there. So there's nothing wrong with needing assistance if you're having a hard time of things happen in life. That's what that's there for. But it's not meant for you to be on that particular program 4 or 5 or 6 years. And at some point you need to have an end goal. How are you going to make your situation better? Get some more people involved so you can provide for your kids, your family, male or female, teenagers, pregnant, whatever the case may be. This is not meant for you to stay on forever. And I think those people that stay on it forever, they abuse the system and they make it harder for other people. It makes it harder for people to really respect the program and really and use it for what it's really used for, which is a temporary fix, which is a temporary problem to help you fix a temporary problem so you can gather yourself and think long term and eventually come off the aid and start really being self sufficient. Again, quick recap. Yeah, it's amazing that it's a again, our welfare system is a $1 trillion system. It's probably right beneath or just right above the Department of Defense system, which is providing a service of protecting our country. Um, so we'll never know the true cost of welfare, but we need to realize that people are going to have issues. They're going to have problems in life, and we need to be able to support them in those trying times. So I'm not against welfare reform, but I am against able-bodied people not going out and getting a job, whatever that job may be. Don't have to be permanent, but providing for yourself. Again, hit that subscribe button for more information later. This is Byron Bradford. Thank you for your time.